Thanks for saying also News Central now. I am Rita Omodia. Begin the news at this hour in West Africa, where the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria says current economic conditions have now prompted point-of-sale operators to reconsider their plans to implement the planned increase in their service charges starting from Monday. This development comes despite recent criticisms of plans to implement the new price framework. Last month, the Lagos chapter of the association said it had come up with a new price list for POS agents operating in the state. Justifying the increase in prices, the association said POS agents are adjusting their prices to reflect the country's current economic realities. The raise elicited criticism from Nigerians, including threats of sanctions by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission and the central bank's promise to intervene. To take a further look into this latest development, I'm joined by Hussein Olarewaju. He is the National Chief Aggregating Officer, AMMBAN. Thank you so much for joining us on News Central Now.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Hussein, we would like you to kindly explain the rationale behind the decision of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria to implement the new framework for increased service charges despite recent criticisms.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me once again. The reality of fresh subsidy and cost of service to the fellow Nigerians has actually requested for this increase in price. So there are two things. There is some confusion around who is to regulate the price. Is it the association or is it the Central Bank of Nigeria? Just for clarity purpose, I want to make you understand that association do not have the right to regulate price of operators, licensed operators in the market. It is the Central Bank of Nigeria that does that, which the association do not do anything about that price hike. However, when it comes to the price to cost to serve, which a lot of factors are being looked into, this is what the association is trying to contain. So I give an example. Right now, the same transportation that you take to go and get the cash from point A to point B, before now, it's like 100 naira. Right now, it's like 500 naira. That's the cost to serve. And those are part of cost of money. We are not even talking about cost of liquidity, which we get from loans. We are not talking about other factors like fueling to charge those devices, the data and what have you. So these are things that sum up together and requested for us to review the price across the country.
All right, Hussein, I do understand, and I'm sure Nigerians everywhere, they're feeling this cost of this economic conditions going on. But we're seeing the federal government, even the president, trying to provide palliatives, and the central bank also promised to intervene. So do these current economic conditions still justify it? Wouldn't your association be patient enough to see how everything pans out, and what exactly has the CBN said concerning the situation?
So unfortunately, the new palliative do not consider the access to cash, which is access to basic financial services. We'll talk about the agro sector, which the new palliative is trying to look, or the household of 80,000 naira per household. It does not actually speak specifically to access to those cash. So I give you, it's not about the association being a little bit relaxed on this. It's about actually moving to the reality. Take, for example, in Lagos, international, when you're going from local airport to international airport, before now, the cost of toll fee is 200 naira for car and 300 naira for SUV. As now, right now that we speak, they've increased the fare from 200 naira to 300 naira for cars, and then from 300 naira to 500 naira for SUVs. So it's the current reality. You see, of recent, the Bread Association, or I don't know, maybe the follower me are also proposing increase, because there is nobody that will incur a lot of costs and not want to make, even if you are not making too much profit, at least do not go into negative too much. So the reality is, the government, the CBN, we've been trying to work with the CBN, even during the cash crunch, but it's surprising that they are not really carrying us along where it matters, so that we can collectively redesign. Like cost of money, I can tell you today, the cheapest cost of money to agents is as much as 72% per annum. how do you want the agent to get to service this cost of money? 72% per annum. Meanwhile, CBN is there. If CBN gives agent, like say, 1-digit interest, less than 10%, of course, agents also try to adjust and give a good service to the people. But these are not available.
Okay.
Agents are treated just like normal Nigerians. So, and it is unbearable. So it's difficult. If you want to continue serving the people, then the government also should look into positioning or supporting that initiative. I can see the Federal Protection Agency.
Hussein, now looking at all what you're saying, I mean, from what you're saying, it seems like the federal government and even the Central Bank of Nigeria has not said anything concerning the situation. But there have also been threats of sanctions by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. So is your association not afraid that this might fire back on your association if you continue with this threat to increase the price list?
Okay, thank you. So what we see from the Federal Protection Agency is more of a news media circulation. We've not received any official correspondence from them. What we expect is a dialogue, and we are not here. We are trying to play a fair market, and we have reasons for doing things. Once we are able to justify it, I don't think we should be seeing any sanction from their own end. All these things are more of knowledge gap and understanding of the reality of the market. You have a lot of people who are just sitting inside the office and thinking life is as easy as how they feel, perceive it inside the office. But in the streets, life is really, really hard.
I believe that there's no difference in the office or in the streets. Everybody is still walking about and feeling the brunt of these economic conditions. But for the sake of clarity, let's understand and would like you to provide more information about the new price list developed by the Association for POS Agents in Lagos State.
Okay, so for the price list, it is just like I said earlier, it is also in commemoration of what we have. I don't know if you have it. I can still read out the price list that we have here and see reason why we are actually trying to. The deposit fee, the cost of service from the provider is actually not changing, but the cost of service to get these funds is what is actually being affected. So today we have deposit range from 1,000 to 4,009 as 100 naira. And then we have 5,000 to 10,900 as 200 naira. We have 11,000 to 20,900 at 300 naira. 21,000 naira to 30,900 at 400 naira. 31,000 to 40,000 at 500 naira. 40,400 to 50,000 at 600 naira. That's for deposits.
All right.
And then what I want to say is we are trying to cap the maximum amount agent is expected to charge. However, agents are not said to be considerate to charge below. Nobody is going to penalize them.
All right, thank you so much, Hussein. And all this is to begin on Monday. Thank you so much for sharing so much light on these conditions. Thank you.
Thank you.